Okay, let's make a natural deodorant using magnesium hydroxide and zinc rincinoleate. Natural, of course, depends on your definition. For a product to be considered natural, it requires a certain percentage of the ingredients to be considered natural. I've done my best with this formula, but remember that natural isn't always safer or better. It's mainly the combination of magnesium hydroxide and zinc rincinoleate that provide the deodorizing abilities, and remember that this deodorant is not an antiperspirant. So we start off with some babasu oil. I'm using this as it won't leave white stains on your clothes like coconut oil based deodorants can. It's absorbent and it's said to be antimicrobial. To that you're seeing me add the magnesium hydroxide, which is used to control odour. It binds to the odour causing bacteria, helping to neutralise it. Then we're using candelilla wax as our hardener and thickener, and this creates a solid stick which is good in a range of temperatures. And then to that I'm adding cetyl alcohol. This helps to stabilise and solidify the deodorant and can help to soften the skin. To that I'm also adding moisturising cocoa butter that just helps the product feel a bit nicer on the skin. And then our other star ingredient, zinc rincinoleate. This has antimicrobial properties that can prevent growth of odour-causing bacteria. It traps and absorbs odour molecules to prevent body odour. And that very quickly was our base deodorant formula. So we're going to mix that around a bit just so that everything's combined, and then we're going to heat this in a water bath. The zinc rincinoleate does state it needs to be heated to about 70 degrees to melt. Other people have said it needs higher, and I would agree it does need about 90 degrees. And don't expect the magnesium hydroxide to melt. That has a very high melting point, so we just incorporate that in by whisking in with the other powders. Although I did put it in the heated phase because it is very heat tolerant. So we'll mix this around, and now we're going to add some of our phase B ingredients that aren't affected by heat, and that is our arrowroot powder. This is a thickening agent and it also absorbs excess moisture, helping to get your underarms as dry as possible, though this isn't an antiperspirant. And kaolin clay, which absorbs impurities, absorbs sweat and neutralises body odour. And we're just going to use this tiny little whisk to whisk those around to incorporate those with the magnesium hydroxide and all the other ingredients to create a sort of smooth paste, as you can see here. Now we're going to take the temperature. At the moment it's a bit too hot to add our fragrance and vitamin E, so we'll let this cool to around 50. We want it below the flash point of the fragrance, but also to keep it liquid enough to pour. Fragrance oil I've used is by White Rose Essentials, and it's raspberry and vanilla, I believe. It smells very nice. You may want to alter the amount of this depending on the wax you use. I've used candelilla wax, which has quite a strong scent, which does come through in the final product. So if you want to use a different wax, then by all means do that. You might need to adjust the quantities, and you may want to up your fragrance depending on sensitivities, but do check IFRA guidelines for allowed usage rates. And obviously the scent is just to mask the odour, and the vitamin E is our antioxidant. And just whisk those in very well until everything is 100% combined, and then we'll pour into our deodorant containers. So I got these off Alexmo Cosmetics. They are in the EU, but they do ship surprisingly fast to the UK, and their shipping rates are quite reasonable. And they have these wheels at the bottom and a little insert in the lid in here. It's like a little plastic cap that has a shape. So what you do is you put the cap on and you put these upside down on the counter, and you pour through the bottom so that you get that nice shape at the top in the lid. And then once you've finished pouring, you'll put a little cap in the bottom. So let's do that now, and I'll show you how that works. So I just scraped the bottom of the container and put that in as well. It does set up a little bit on the sides of the glass, but once you've got everything in that you can, take the little cap that they provide with these containers and you just click it into the bottom here. It takes a little bit of pressure to get it in there. And then that's sealed, and then keep it upside down and put it in a cool place or pop it in the freezer. It doesn't take long to set at all. You probably only need a couple of minutes. And then we'll take it out in a few and see what it looks like. And here is the finished product. It's all solidified inside, and you can see we've got this lovely shape on the top from where the lid insert moulded it. And so we're just going to test it out now on my arm and see how it goes on. It applies nice and smooth. It's quite dry, so I don't have that horrible wet sticky feeling. It's really nice. I'm very pleased. How it performs obviously will be sort of from testing, so I need to give it a test and see how it goes after sort of a few weeks or so, but so far so good. The feel of it is very nice. So I hope you like this formula. If you want the formula printout in percentages and grams, that's all on my Patreon, which is linked below. Thank you to all of my patrons, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.